Shalom. I'm here with my brother, longtime friend. I call him a brother, Ronald Lee Jr. And this is very impromptu.
Right.
I guess after just talking this morning, we talk almost every morning,
Right.
But this morning specifically, how many men are just tired,
Yeah.
and how that one word is really broad in definition when we say it.
Right. Right.
It's typically not meaning that we're physically tired. It means we're mentally and emotionally tired with life. And
Exactly.
Talking this morning, I was sharing with you how I feel like I'm feeling like depressed, man,
Right.
you know what I mean? And had a lot of disappointments, especially like recently with the documentary, hoping it would do more than what it did.
Right.
You get your hopes up, you wanted the documentary for what we do here
Right.
to help us get the money to really focus on the cave and help boys. And that's just one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, but when I called my friend to hear that he had cried, he broke down crying. This, you know what I'm talking about. He's strong.
Yeah,
He's a
very,
strong brother. Broke down crying, and his wife heard him, and he just like, I'm tired. And as men, it's like the world hears us, but they don't understand us.
No.
And then as I was walking out the gym this morning, a friend of mine who works out, older gentleman, actually he's a wrestler from Poland, and he says, he didn't even hear our conversation. But he just randomly said, don't nobody want to hear us complaining.
True.
They don't care about what we're thinking about. And I believe that was the Most High just saying, hey, just share this because many of people watching right now, men who are watching, they feel they're alone.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
We live in this performance-based society, right? Especially for men, right? Like where we have to perform. Everything that we're doing is about performing, right? We have to be the providers. We have to do all these things. And like you said, it just, without an outlet, it gets tiresome, right? We don't have, I look at, and once again, it's not a male-woman thing, but, I look at women and they take vacations and they look like they, living their best life, right? I don't ever see men do that, right? Where we going on a boys' trip, right?
You see our white brothers.
Okay.
My boys of different ethnicities, especially my white boys.
Right.
They get it in, dude.
Okay.
They ATVing. I think you're talking about us specifically. Okay. I don't see, my brothers, white brothers.
Okay.
They hunt. I mean, they get it. No, bro, they get it in. And if I'm wrong, let me know, brothers, because again, it's a culture thing.
Yeah.
But heck, my man Bert Soren, all of them guys, man, they hunt, they get it in. Ryan Mitchell, them cats get it in.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the thing. Is like for me, I know I see a lot of people. Once again, people look like me. Look, all right. We don't have an outlet because it's like life is life. That's not going to change now. And I think that we're able to burden and carry so much just by the way the Most High made us, right? However, there's a time to when though it get tired because sometimes once again he talks about placing his burdens on us and his yoke is light, right? I think sometimes those burdens that are placed on us are not the burdens that he's placing on us.
That's true. I often say, how we say the scripture says the Most High will not put on us more than we can bear.
Exactly.
But I always add to that, but we can. And that's what's happening. I believe culturally, we've allowed this society to define us as men.
Exactly.
And that's two things, providing and protecting. Everything else, it's like we've been banned from being human. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no.
That's real.
I don't know if we'll get out. Like if I talk to my wife, I catch myself repeating the same thing. Like, wait a minute, this is insane. It's like Groundhog Day, the movie. You wake up, do the same thing.
Right.
It's a lifestyle change.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what we as men, I think it's like you really have to be shrewd and mentally strong to say, I ain't that guy no more.
Exactly.
You can't depend on me for everything no more.
Right.
Because I don't have nothing for myself.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. I was telling our friend, and we were just talking about. I'm like, bro, he does a lot for people just to make them happy. And then he's angry because his whole day he realized was working for them.
So not having healthy boundaries. Like that's the book I was just reading by Dr. Henry Cloud. Phenomenal book, and it opened up. I thought I had healthy boundaries because I can say no to stuff, but there's certain things and certain people I don't say no to. So because I don't take on those boundaries, because I want to be the good father, I want to be the good husband, I want to be these things, and then wondering why I'm bitter, wondering why I'm resentful, wondering why I'm upset is because I haven't put a boundary in place, right? I haven't. Okay, if you cross the boundary, there's no consequence. So now, and listen, I've been practicing it the past couple of weeks. I've been putting those boundaries up. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Yeah, they get upset. Oh, well, that's their feeling that they got to deal with. Like I said, I'm responsible to them, but I'm not responsible for them. I'm not responsible for how you feel about this, right? Like you said, I have to protect my peace. And I'm not being a bad guy by just saying no.
Absolutely.
Right?
Bro.
I'm not being a bad guy by putting a boundary up, right? I mean, boundaries are put up to protect, but we protect everybody but us. So then we wonder why we tired, why we exhausted, you know what I'm saying? Why we irritated, why we frustrated, you know what I'm saying? All these other things that we don't necessarily have to be, but it's because, once again, we're placing on other things. Like you said, the Most High, Yah, he's not placing it on us. We place it on ourselves.
You know what's deep, man? A friend of mine, millionaire, very successful person, we were talking, and he had said that he needed a break. He had did something really great, and if I share, you would know who he is, so I'm going to leave him without telling you who he is, but he needed a break. But his team was like, no, you got to get back at it. You got to do this. You got to strike it while it's hot.
Right.
He says, if I do, I'm going to hurt myself.
That's dope.
That's when they got serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, because sometimes I say, what does it take for people to understand? Do I say, okay, wait a minute, you don't understand what I mean by this? Grab a gun and say, this is what I mean? This is how close I am?
Right.
Is this what we have to do? He was like, that's real.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're humans, dude. And it's like, we're at a tipping point. I think we're spilling over now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I see it, and you know, I made a decision even this week. You're talking about boundaries. So, you know, I have to work out for what I do and train. I need to be in bed I need to be winding down at 9:30 in bed by 10. This decision, I had to be out to 11, then get home to about 11:15, 11:20, then get to bed to really getting to sleep around 1.
Right.
Then I missed my 5 a.m. training. Then I had to work another 10 hours that day, get home. You see how it pushes you back.
Right.
But most people don't understand, like, well, that was just one day. How did you let that destroy? But when you talk to successful, like, business people, they don't compromise that time. It's scheduled around. That was my fault. It was no one else's fault. But I got tired of feeling like the bad guy.
That's it.
But you're not a bad guy, like you're saying, just because I have a boundary or a principle that I need to abide in if I'm going to make it here. And that's what I compromise. And so I think that's, when I speak for me, makes me the most angry is that it's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, as men, we know that we ain't doing nothing that we don't really want to do. If we adamant, we ain't doing it.
Yeah.
We end up giving in because we tired of fighting against doing things that we don't want to do.
Exactly.
Like the Bible says, Satan wears out
Right.
the saints of the Most High.
Right.
I remember one pastor said, Satan ain't trying to knock you out in the first round. He's trying to knock you out in the 9th round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what we have to understand.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, I think one of the keys to us breaking out of that is talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I felt led just for us just to grab this time, snatch it, record it, and just share it for brothers because they're tired, man. And I want to just get off social media, period, be done with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel just this feeling of like, well, who's crying out in the wilderness?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to fill the void of my voice?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's so. And this is when you said something else that I'm gonna respond to, or just kind of touch on. When you talked about, tired of feeling like, or tired of being a bad guy, right? And a lot of the things that we take on and that we do is based on, okay, I don't want to disappoint somebody, or I don't want to, we don't want that guilt or that shame. It goes back to feeling. We don't want to feel a certain way, so I rather do it. Like sometimes I do stuff just because, okay, I don't want to hear my wife's mouth, right? But that's not a good reason not to do something.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I'm taking on this adage that, okay, I'm doing it so I don't hear her mouth, but I'm still going to be ended up resenting or being bitter or irritated because, like you said, it may have knocked me off my schedule. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, that one little thing, that was a domino effect. Where it's like, okay, this set me back an hour, and I would set everything back else in my schedule, and now it's like I'm off. And once again, as men, we compartmentalize. So it's like that one thing may seem small to someone else, but like you said, to you, no, that was huge, right? And now you, like I said, now you upset at yourself because I should have said no, or I should have shut it down earlier. Right, bro. right.
It was no urgency.
Right.
So
Right. It wasn't. Listen. So, I was invited to an event this week, but it was a last minute invite. So somebody asked me, "Where are you going to go?" And I for a second considered it, but once again, I thought about my boundaries. They're like, "Well, no, I didn't know until the last minute, and I'm not in a position to alter or change my schedule to make accommodations." Mm-hmm. And if the person, offended that I didn't attend. You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't give me enough information. I didn't know in enough time to make accommodations. So that's not on me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I feel relieved. I don't feel no kind of way like they may feel a certain way. Oh, I'm like, really, oh well.
It's deep, but you would be pissed off if you would agreed and went.
Exactly.
That's deep.
Exactly. So who you rather be pissed off? Me or them? And they ain't really that pissed off.
Because at the end of the day, if you not showing ruins their event, they shouldn't have had the event. Right. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Like, dude, right. if I'm not there and it ain't working, you probably shouldn't have had that event. You feel me? Straight up.
That's real.
It's like, come on, man. Real. It's like, and everyone has a life.
Yeah.
Everyone can't be everywhere. Mm-mm. And if that's the case, your weekend is booked every weekend of the year.
Yeah. Because
you got to go do something for somebody else. And, and so even with my partner, when we just started this whole conversation, our friend, he's in isolation almost. I have to hunt him down sometime. Where you at, man? And I think because we don't talk enough, we not only feel that our wives, the women in our lives, even our children, when they become adults, they know what we're saying to them, but they don't understand. It makes it worse when we feel that no other brothers will understand.
Right.
But as soon as you talk to another man, you see like, whoa, it's not just me. And that's what my friend's call did for me. The Most High was letting me know. And you may feel like it's just you. Right. Your son and daughter may feel like it's just you. Your wife may feel like it's just you. Your mom may feel like it's just you. But it's not just you.
That's real.
And, it's typically, a lot of men out here, you may feel, that they feel like they're weak.
Right.
When it happens. Man, I know some strong men, like physically and mentally strong, breaking down right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, but they don't know that other strong men are breaking down.
Right.
And the brothers who think they're weak, who aren't weak, they think, well, I'm the only one like this. There's millions of men feeling like them right now. So, it's not a guess, but I believe, is it Proverbs 27:17? We should know that by heart because every men's conference is named Iron Sharpens Iron. Right. So as one man sharpens another.
Right.
That word man is literally male.
Right.
It's not human beings. So it's not your wife sharpening you. It's not your sister, your female cousins, your mama. It's another man sharpening you. And I believe that's the biggest issue, like consistent sharpening, because It's a good example, bro. I had to cut one of the weeds back from the parking lot gate, but my knife was dull. I'm like, whoa, I haven't sharpened this in a while.
Right.
This is the thing, though. When you use any edged weapon, like you consistently use it, you need to sharpen it consistently.
Right.
Because it's going to get dull faster, and then it's harder to sharpen.
Right.
To bring that edge back. We use our swords all day, every day.
Right.
In society, it's in life, emotionally, introspectively, whatever. But we're not sharpening them.
That's real.
Consistently.
That's real.
So if they're not being sharpened consistently, and we're dull, like Solomon says, you know, a dull axe takes more effort to cut. And that's what we're beating, like trying to cut this with a blunt edge.
Yeah.
And eventually we get frustrated. Now we breaking the axe, you know, like I'm tired. And then, you know, it's suicide. You know, you that's when men give up, because it's like, I mean, think about this, bro. My boy Jay Barnett said he had survivor's guilt after a failed attempt, but he wanted to kill himself, but he survived.
Wow.
All right. Actually, I think he actually attempted suicide and survived. He said he had survivor's guilt. That's deep.
Yeah.
As a man, for you to get to that place, it's like hopelessness.
Yeah.
And that's where many of us are. And the reason it's hopeless, you're hopeless, because people hear you. They could write a book on your life,
Right.
but they don't really know you.
That's true.
And in all fairness to them or anyone, you can't know really what we're going through unless you walk in our shoes. You know what I mean? Or walking truly with us. And unfortunately, as men, we don't have camaraderie like that. And then even to the men who are able to get away and hang out, majority of that stuff is a facade. Everyone's not
It's
really there's no
Yeah.
in-depth conversation like, man, I'm losing my marriage, or I'm not feeling well, I feel weak as a man.
Yeah.
That stuff rarely happens. And so we end up being here, we end up being alone. The next thing you know, it's just like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired, like I say, I'm not tired of living, I'm tired of not living. So you're just making it through life. And then a lot of men ask, what is in this life for me?
Right.
Like straight, like, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
You know, majority of men who are providers and protectors and good men, they don't ask people to do nothing for them. Their wives, I'm serious. It's like, I'm serious. They don't ask.
That's real. Like I said, as long as you know me, how many times have I asked for anything?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's true. And so it's like, even here, you know, you have to save me from myself, you know?
Yeah.
And you get to the place where it's like, what's in this life for me? Okay, I take care of this, I do this, I work, I pay, but what's in it for me?
Right.
Like literally for you. And unfortunately, as men, it's like Father's Day coming up. One daughter, lady I asked, she's her father. I said, "What are you doing for him?" He was like, "He just want to be left alone." Like what? You know, like Mother's Day, mothers don't say leave me alone.
Right.
But the father say he ain't going out to a restaurant. I want to just lay down. That's why restaurants are empty. If that isn't a warning sign for society, like, no, straight up, like, here's the day, I'm going to take you out, get you whatever you want to eat. No, just leave me alone.
Let me be. Let me alone.
That right there tells you that men are tired.
Yeah.
But we look at it, he just want to be alone. He irritated. No. He's tired because that's something else he got to do. And that's for him.
Right.
But typically, it's like when you do stuff constantly for others, when your day come and you don't want to go nowhere, that's a problem, bro.
Yeah.
But we don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
That's a major problem. Why men say, don't get me nothing, I'm cool. Just put that, y'all get something.
Right.
You don't feel appreciated.
Exactly. And I know, and me and you've been talking more, right, as of late, right? So definitely finding, like you said, that iron sharpen iron is key. Because I don't know if we would be here if we weren't talking. We might have just been sucking it up, keeping it moving, and who knows, you know what I'm saying, what happened. So to be able to have, solid brothers that you can, like you said, have real vulnerable conversations, not the surface fluff stuff, but just on some like, how you doing? I'm not doing good. Mm-hmm. And then, elaborating and, you know what I'm saying? Just, yeah. So I think that's key. But like you said, answers, nah, we try to figure it out ourselves.
Again, like, someone had told me, it's really revolutionary work, what's happening now for men, just to even be able to talk.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, you couldn't do this even in 1990.
No.
You couldn't do this in 2000.
Right.
You couldn't do this in 2015.
Right.
So we got less than a decade in with this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just going to be a journey, man.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a journey, but just encourage brothers, to talk, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to talk and get it out. Don't repress it, suppress it.
Yeah, because it's gonna come out. That's one thing I learned, is that there's no such thing as an unexpressed emotion. It's coming out in some way, shape, or fashion. And I'd rather me verbalize it and talk it than me explode and blowing up. You know what I'm saying?
There's no such thing as an unexpressed emotion. That's good.
No such thing.
That's real. Yeah, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. We'll say, I ain't saying nothing no more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna say something.
Right.
Somebody gonna pull up next to you, cut you off on the road. You're gonna lose. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's
gonna
come out. It's gonna come out. Or you just, I caught myself a period of time just randomly cursing, dude. Just like,
oh yeah.
Where did that come from?
All right.
Because you holding back something that should have been expressed
exactly
in a better way, or in that moment, and now that moment is gone, and now you alone, and you're like, man,
Right.
Yeah, that's true. There's no such thing as an unexpressed emotion. That's good. That's good. All right, brothers. We hope that this conversation, and hope you have conversations, but don't hold it in, man. And to the therapists out here, make sure you have a therapist.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I take my hat off to therapists.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Tim Bro, our therapist, psychotherapist, like he get away for like half a year. It seems like he going on vacation. But to all the therapists, thank you for what you do. Psychiatrists, just anyone who's in the field of mental health, I couldn't imagine a workload right now. And so please take care of yourselves. And those of us who depend on psychotherapy and mental health experts, let's give them a break sometime.
Yeah.
Unless we about to lose it, then you reach out. But if you can make it and you haven't really been practicing what they've been teaching you, try not to contact them for 2 weeks. If you're doing okay, and practice what they've been trying to teach you.
That's it.
And give them a break so that they can be available for you when you need to come see them again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.